Hello and welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let's begin with previous day question. Consider the following statements. Article 19 of the Constitution guarantees the right to freedom of speech and expression and is typically invoked against the state. Article 19(2) of the Constitution outlines 8 grounds such as national security and foreign relations for limiting freedom of speech and expression. Which of the statements given above is or are not correct? One only, two only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option D. Article 19 of the Constitution of India guarantees the right to freedom of speech and expression and is typically invoked against the state. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Article 19(2) of the Constitution lists only 8 grounds, namely issues affecting the sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, relating to decency or morality, contempt of court, and defamation or incitement to an offense for curtailing freedom of speech and expression. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Similarly, Section 69A of the Information Technology Act of 2000 lists identical reasons for which the center could issue directions to block public access to any information through any computer resource. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Let's begin with today's session. Consider the following statements regarding Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. PMMVY is a centrally sponsored scheme under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The scheme provides Rs 5,000 for the first child and Rs 6,000 for the second child only if it is a girl. The scheme does not comply with the National Food Security Act 2013. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option C. Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana is centrally sponsored scheme launched in 2017 under the Ministry of Women and Child Development, provides maternity benefits to eligible pregnant and lactating women. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Key features include: it provides financial assistance to support maternal health and nutrition. First child, Rs 5,000 is provided, and additional benefits under Janani Suraksha Yojana ensure that women receive around Rs 6,000 in total. Second child, only if a girl, Rs 6,000 is given to promote gender equality and discourage female feticide. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The scheme violates the National Food Security Act 2013, which mandates universal maternity benefits by limiting benefits to only the first two children, with the second child covered only if it is a girl. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding preventive detention in India. Under Article 22, a person cannot be held in detention for more than 3 months under any circumstances. The National Security Act 1980 authorizes preventive detention. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option B. Preventive detention refers to detaining an individual without trial to prevent anticipated unlawful activities. Unlike punitive detention, which follows due process and conviction, preventive detention curtails individual liberty based on suspicion. Article 22 provides protection against arrest and detention. The first part covers ordinary law cases involving criminal investigations, while the second part deals with preventive detention. A person can be detained without trial for up to 3 months unless extended by an advisory board consisting of persons qualified to be High Court judges. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Key laws related to preventive detention. National Security Act 1980 allows detention to prevent threats to national security and public order. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. It prevents activities threatening India's sovereignty, security, and integrity. Hence, option B is the correct answer. The term Karakoram anomaly refers to which of the following phenomena? The unusual stability or growth of glaciers in the Karakoram region despite global warming. The formation of deep crevasses in Karakoram glaciers due to tectonic activity. The rapid retreat of glaciers in the Karakoram due to rising temperatures. The frequent occurrence of glacial lake outburst floods in the Karakoram. The correct answer is option A. The Karakoram anomaly describes the unexpected stability or slight expansion of glaciers in the Karakoram range unlike glaciers in other parts of the Himalayas, which are retreating due to climate change. This phenomena is attributed to unique climatic conditions, including winter-dominated snowfall and relatively stable summer temperatures, which reduce melting. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next, Fiscal Monitor and External Sector Report, sometimes in news, is related to which of the following organizations? World Bank, International Monetary Fund, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. The correct answer is option B. Fiscal Monitor Report is a publication by the International Monetary Fund that provides an analysis of global fiscal policies, taking stock of mitigation strategies across countries, particularly focusing on balancing climate goals, debt, sustainability, and political feasibility. The External Sector Report is also published by the International Monetary Fund. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements. India, for the first time, secured a rank within the top 10 among 133 global economies in the Global Innovation Index 2024. In 2024, India's gross expenditure on research and development as a percentage of GDP was around 5%. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option D. Recently, India secured the 39th position among 133 global economies in the Global Innovation Index 2024. In 2023, India ranked 40th out of 132 economies. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. It is published annually by the World Intellectual Property Organization and acts as a valuable benchmarking tool for policymakers, business leaders, and other stakeholders. In 2024, India's gross expenditure on research and development as a percentage of GDP was around 0.64%. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. In 2022, India spent 0.65% of its GDP on research and development, much lower than that of other BRICS countries like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa nations. Brazil 1.15%, Russia 0.94%, China 2.43%. Let alone advanced S&T powers like the US, Japan, Israel, and South Korea. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements. It is located in Assam and is the largest undisturbed representative area in the Brahmaputra Valley floodplain. It was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. It also has more than 250 seasonal water bodies besides the Diplu River running through it. Which of the following locations best matches the above description? Manas National Park, Kaziranga National Park, Nameri National Park, or Dibru-Saikhowa National Park? The correct answer is option B. Kaziranga National Park. It is located in the state of Assam and is the single largest undisturbed and representative area in the Brahmaputra Valley floodplain. It was declared a national park in 1974. It was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. It is recognized as an important bird area by BirdLife International. It is home to the world's most one-horned rhinos. Kaziranga is also home to 9 of the 14 species of primates found in the Indian subcontinent. The park also has more than 250 seasonal water bodies besides the Dipu River running through it. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next, regarding Bitcoin, consider the following statements. Bitcoin has value because people assign worth to it, not due to any intrinsic value. The total number of Bitcoins that can be mined is limited by its underlying algorithm. They rely on scarcity to maintain value, making them volatile investments. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none. The correct answer is option C. Bitcoins, these digital tokens, have value only because people ascribe value to them, not because they have any intrinsic worth. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The number of Bitcoins that can be mined, for example, has an upper bound set by the algorithm used to generate it. Hence, statement 2 is correct. They rely on scarcity to maintain value, making them volatile investments. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The AIF scheme aims to benefit all stakeholders in the agricultural ecosystem by contributing to the holistic development of the agriculture sector. Statement 2. The Agricultural Infrastructure Fund offers interest-free loans to ease the financial burden on farmers. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. The correct answer is option C. Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. To address gaps in post-harvest management, the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund was launched in 2020-21 to develop farm gate storage and logistics, helping farmers store their produce properly and sell at better prices with fewer intermediaries. The AIF scheme aims to benefit all agricultural stakeholders by supporting the overall development of the sector. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Under AIF, a loan provision of rupees 1 lakh crore has been made through lending institutions with a 9% interest rate cap. The scheme, operational from 2020-21 to 2032-33, offers an interest subvention of 3% per annum on loans up to rupees 2 crores, available for a maximum of 7 years. For loans exceeding rupees 2 crores, the interest subvention applies only to the first rupees 2 crores. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Additionally, interest guarantee coverage is available for eligible borrowers under the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises scheme, with the government covering the fee for loans up to rupees 2 crores. Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is not correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next, regarding the Purchasing Managers Index, consider the following statements. It is calculated separately for the manufacturing and services sectors, and then a composite index is also constructed. It is published at the beginning of each month by Niti Aayog and is regarded as a reliable leading indicator of economic activity. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A. Purchasing Managers Index. It is a survey-based measure that asks the respondents about changes in their perception about key business variables as compared with the previous month. It is calculated separately for the manufacturing and services sectors, and then a composite index is also constructed. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The PMI is a number from 0 to 100. A print above 50 means expansion, while a score below that denotes contraction. A reading at 50 indicates no change. If the PMI of the previous month is higher than the PMI of the current month, it represents that the economy is contracting. It is usually released at the start of every month. It is therefore considered a good leading indicator of economic activity. PMI is compiled by IHS Markit for more than 40 economies worldwide. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next, regarding the avalanche, consider the following statements. It is the rapid flow of snow, ice, and debris down a mountain slope. It peaks from December to April, driven by heavy winter snowfall and the spring thaw, which weakens snow layers. It is always caused by natural forces, carrying earth, rocks, and rubble, leading to destruction. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none. The correct answer is option B. An avalanche is the rapid flow of snow, ice, and debris down a mountain slope. It often carries earth, rocks, and rubble, causing destruction. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Avalanche risk peaks from December to April due to heavy winter snowfall, snow accumulation, and spring thaw, weakening snow layers. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Avalanches result from both natural and human-induced factors, including deforestation, reducing slope stability, adventure tourism disturbing the snowpack, and global warming increasing freeze-thaw cycles. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements. At the Nagpur session of the Indian National Congress in December 1920, it was decided to reorganize the provincial Congress committees on a linguistic basis. The Dhar Commission 1948 assessed state reorganization on linguistic lines but prioritized administrative efficiency over linguistic homogeneity. Fazal Ali Commission 1953 to 1955 recommended the creation of linguistic states but with certain reservations to ensure national integration and administrative convenience. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none. Send the answer of this question in the comment section. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.